Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Marshal Kramer Show. My name is Marshal Kramer. I am your host of the show. This is my show and the show where, this is a show where I do my shit. If you're first new to the show, let's start off with that. Never done this before. Marshal Kramer Show, again, it's just me. It's my show, and it's about what the fuck ever. People told me with my media business, people told me with my podcast, people told me with everything, you got to find niches. You got to find an area where no one else is fulfilling, and maybe I am in this sense. It shows about whatever. I talk a lot about psychology. I talk a lot about philosophy, a lot about self-betterment, self-whatever, but also I talk a lot about comedy. Talk a lot about dicks and tits. Like, I don't really care. It's whatever would be said at any time in my life, whether it's hanging out with my parents at the restaurant table or at home, whether it's, sitting around drinking some beers with my friends. That's what I do here. Mainly, if I could kind of give it I used to say the silliest show, and I used to say willfully optimistic, but again, I don't want it to be anything more than it's my show and it's my life, and we all have, or I'm not going to talk definitively about y'all, but I have a wide variety of stuff I'm into, and but basically, a lot of it's like navigating life and not teaching you how to navigate life, just talking about my problems. I've always felt that a lot of podcasts or anytime when I hear someone talk through their problems and talk about their anecdotes of it, you can learn a lot, and not just necessarily that they need to teach you. Just like you can connect, and you can know that there's someone else out there in the world that's struggling or thriving in the same area you are too. Because I like to stay positive too, but it's not just necessarily all about that. Thanksgiving come and gone. It's December 1st as recording this, so Christmas time has begun. Decorations everywhere, songs going up the wazoo. I always laugh because I know, I will eventually have a Christmas episode, and there's Thanksgiving episodes and Halloween episodes, and it's like, there could be someone, not right now, I guess, but there could be someone in the future, right, listening to this in, 2022. It could be freaking July of 2022, and they're listening to this, and they're like, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever, but, you can still relate and appreciate the podcast. But I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. It was nice. I forget how much I miss some of my friends that aren't around during this time. They're still in college or whatnot. So I forget that I'm just messing with my hair forever, whatever. It's going to do what it's going to do. But yeah, I forget how much I miss that. And family too, man. I really had a good time. I just like to sit there and, have a little drink or something and talk to the family members that you're not talking to all the time. My brother, oh my God, he's fucking Mr. Meats. He brought bear over. I can't remember what he said. I know he's talked about a different type of cut that he used to have that he thought was better, the tenderloin or something. I don't know, but whatever we have was a little bit different, but it was delicious. Literally, if you threw 2 or 3 bites in my steak bites, I probably wouldn't be able to tell a difference, but I love steak too. Steak is delicious. It was a really, really, really good meat. A little bit fattier, maybe kind of like a top sirloin type cut, the cut that I had at least. But it was good. It looked different than beef, but it was really, really good. My mom also had this bourbon sauce that we got from the barbecue place that we ordered the other food, the ribs and whatnot from. And that bourbon has a kick to it. Me and my dad love bourbon sauce. Oh my God, I love bourbon sauce. But put a little bourbon sauce on top of your bear, dog. Y'all don't even know what y'all missing. I didn't even know what I was missing until I finally had it. And my God, I'm gonna throw a picture up if I haven't already. What the bear looked like. God, I'll tell you this, man. Good. Freaking good. And then the other day, when he was sending pictures, he's grounded up all of his bear meat and turned it into ground beef, or ground bear that you can put in the freezer, and you can have hamburgers and whatnot. And then now he's doing summer sausage. I told him, my brother's name is Morgan. I told him that he should open up Mojo's Meats. And then the slogan could be, Mojo's Meats. We don't just beat their meat, we beat their prices too. Mojo Meats. And I'd be an investor. And help him do all of his promo videos. I think that's really cool. I'm going to keep talking on a topic of that. I think that's really cool. That's obviously his hobby. A hobby he must have developed from his girlfriend and his girlfriend's family, because our family does not hunt nor fish, and fishing is another big hobby of his. But it's like, the whole point of hobbies, right? Maybe the whole point is just to occupy your time. Maybe the whole point of everything in life is just to occupy your time. Let's not get too philosophical right now. But it's his hobby, and he really enjoys his hobby. He enjoys getting new things for it. He enjoys, he likes to do bow hunting, so he likes to, I don't think he shot the bear with a bow, but I don't even know if that's a thing. I don't know anything about hunting, but he loves to bow hunt, and he likes to go out back in his backyard and shoot his bow, practice his target, practice his bow, XYZ. My future sister-in-law, his fiance, was just talking about the other day how, she would use her gun for certain things, but she's just like, it just really, I've heard Joe Rogan talk about it too, it really feels unfair. She's like, if I know how to shoot a bow, that makes it so much more fair. It's like, you're going to miss. You might miss, and your range of shot from gun to bow apparently is a lot less. I'm not going to talk like I know what I'm talking about, but I think it's a really constructive hobby. I think other people have reading as hobbies, writing, woodworking, exercise. I used to have that as a hobby. For me now, it's podcasting. It's literally a hobby of mine. It doesn't make me any money. It actually costs me money and costs me time. But again, it's well prioritized time. I like it. It's not my work time, right? I don't use my work time, my peak efficiency of my cognitive activity during the day, right? I'm gonna use that for work. I'm gonna use that for editing and creation idea. But if I have other time, free time, and I don't want to just sit around and jack off, drink, smoke, eat, is what I'll do. I'll just do a podcast because I find it productive. And what I was getting at with the whole point of it is, outside of occupying your time, hobbies are probably most meant to, sharpen a skill set, and there's a lot, maybe the skill set's just creativity, I think a lot of people, they look at, like I said last episode, creatives, somebody in my field, which I don't call myself a creative or an innovator. I just call myself a person who likes to be creative, and I think we all are. I'm not going to talk definitively on it. Maybe you don't, but I imagine there is an area in your life that you utilize to be really creative, i.e., what my brother's doing there with hunting. I mean, think about it. You can't just walk out there and do your thing. You got to think. It's a hunt. It's literally called a hunt. You have to it's warfare.
Hey, let me see your real war face.
You have to think about, where can I set up? Where's the best strategic place to set up? All right, when do I have to be quiet? When can I kind of talk a little bit more when there's nothing going on? Where should I aim? Oh, the deer's gonna be moving, so I can't shoot where the deer's at. Just like football's creativity. Just like a quarterback throwing to a wide receiver. A wide receiver is running. You can't throw what the wide receiver is. You have to throw what the wide receiver is gonna be. Same with a moving deer, moving turkey, moving bear. You have to plan, where is that animal going to be in the next few seconds, and that's where I have to shoot. It's all this creative thing. One of my buddies, all he does is work that I know of, man. And, outside of work, he just likes to, chill. And that's nothing wrong with it. But in his work, he does stucco. And you'll see him, his favorite part of stucco is the final coat. Because the final coat is when this quote-unquote texture comes. And that's when he, uses his tool to make different designs in the wall. And then at the end of the day, he gets to, show a homeowner his work and gets to get happy by seeing them get happy. He really enjoys being creative, and so does his father. His father, that's all he does now, is he will only come on the job site when it's time to be creative. So I just think that's really cool. I've thought it's really cool for many years now, and to see that he, he might have lost money, but his fucking refrigerator. I mean, I remember last year he had to bring over to. I'm at my parents' cabin now, which is close to his home, and I remember last year he had to bring I actually brought it from his house over here, a freezer load, like an entire massive tub of like literally probably 71-pound bags of ground beef. And maybe it was ground venison. Maybe ground venison mixed with a little bit of pork. But he had a bunch of that, and maybe it was from his leftover cow. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. But now his hobby doesn't just fill his creative need, and occupy his free time. Now it actually feeds him. It literally feeds him and his wife, or his future wife, his fiance. It feeds those two. So I think that's really cool. I think that's really cool to have something that constructive. Thinking about one of my old hobbies. That's not a hobby no more. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about that. It's not a hobby no more, and that's exercise. I used to just love it. I used to literally spend, 16 hours I was up, a little bit of work, a little bit of school. I would say 6 hours a day on average, working out, stretching, eating, or learning. 6 hours dedicated each day, 42 hours a week. And it's because I loved it. Let's not doubt that. It's a hobby. I loved it. But I literally would just sit there all day long, watch YouTube videos, while I'm eating rice and chicken, learning different dieting techniques, how to better my sleep, how to better my recovery, learning different ways to lift weights, XYZ, and beyond occupying my time and having fun, right, which you would do with your hobbies, I got a better body. I got bigger muscles. I got stronger. That helped me when it was time to remove the dock, when it was time to play football, when it was time to whatever, stand up for myself even. I had this ability through my hobbies. I got bigger and stronger, and my confidence grew. Because when you look, life is a lot. It's so much about aesthetic. Let's not disagree with this. Like in Hollywood, 99% of the time, the better looking actor is going to get the job. Politicians, 99% of the time, I know there's some ugly ones out there, but that's because they're goddamn ancient. But anyway, then more than likely, the better looking politician is going to win. It's just how it is. The better looking actress is going to beat out even maybe a better unattractive actress. It's just what it is. And even if they are unattractive, maybe they'll play an unattractive role. They'll play like a villain. Or if they're going to be unattractive, quote unquote, and they're going to play a hero, they're going to play the protagonist, they're going to do whatever Hollywood's going to do whatever they can to make them look good. Maybe that's making them get leaner. Maybe that's making them get muscles, to fit the role. Or maybe they're going to do a lot of makeup or whatever to fit the role, to make them look beautiful. So it's about aesthetics. But yes, weightlifting would give me that too. It would make me feel more confident, because I had a more confident looking body. I had a more aesthetic looking body. Maybe that's not the best thing to be the reality of things, but it is the fucking reality. So stop being so goddamn, is the real beauty's on the inside. We all know that's something an ugly ass person says. It ain't true, dog. It ain't true. And maybe it is. Maybe it is true, but that's just not how they're treated, man. They're just not how they're treated. I was just reading an article the other day about, I don't know why I clicked on it, but I just wanted to read it. The title read that Shawn Mendes says you have to work out, otherwise you'll lose fans. And I read the article, and he said something about that. And it's just so true. Shawn Mendes has a great voice. He's very charismatic. But let's not get this wrong. If he looked like Ed Sheeran, that right there, that might have just fucked it all up right there. Anyway, if he looked like Ed Sheeran, he'd probably lose fans. Ed Sheeran, isn't that the anomaly? Let's talk about anomalies, folks. You ever been to math class, statistics, and you learned about, the curve, and on either end you got the outliers? Yeah, or the line of regression, the regression line, or whatever it's called, right? Where it's the line of most fit, and outside of it you'll see that most average is fitting in there. Every now and again, top and bottom, you'll see another little dot, because that's called an outlier. Ed Sheeran is called an outlier. Songwriter, he does write his songs, right? Songwriter, performer, amazing, singer, great voice, face bridge troll, ugly ass man. I just watched, first off, not a good movie, but Red Notice with Gal Gadot, The Rock, and Ryan Reynolds, and he played a role in there towards the end. Right at the end, he was performing at this rich king's daughter's party, or whatever.
He's like, don't you know who I am? I'm Ed Sheeran. I was on Game of Thrones, bitch.
And it was just funny to see him play that role, because the security guards were like pulling him away, like, you gotta get out of here, man. You gotta get out of here. And he's like,
let go of me. I am Ed Sheeran.
And it just was like the perfect role. The way you look at him, it's like, get your fucking ugly ass out of here. But his voice is angelic. So, hey, you win some, you lose some. Ed Sheeran, folks. That's the example for today. Before I continue on, I want to quickly talk about sponsors. Get Upside, I call it the gas-saving app. It's the money-saving app. Get Upside is so easy to use. Oh my God, it's so user-friendly, so so easy to navigate. I'm going to pop it up here and then show you a little bit how easy it is to use. It's great. Use promo code Marshal8455 to get yourself 15 cents off to start for a gallon. Oh my God, prices are rising. That's what's going on, man. So get yourself that. They also have restaurants and grocery stores. I recently just moved, and the newest grocery store to me is just a mile away, and every single day they have more than 10% cash back. That's better than any Target Red Card, anything you're ever going to get. They also have restaurants too. They got fast food places, pizza places, anything you need. Get Upside, promo code Marshal8455, and get yourself some discount savings and support me while, saving money yourself. Also, Marshal Kramer Media. That's my media, Marshal Kramer Media. Right now, we're not a niche media company. We will do whatever the fuck you need. Yes, I said it. Whatever you need, we will do. If you need a video for your business that's been prime or senior photos taken on time, Marshal Kramer Media is the choice for you. That was in one of the skits with Brandon Abrahamson. Not skit, one of the trailers for his music video. I was on the radio, had to do a radio commercial for Marshal Kramer Media. But Marshal Kramer Media, please, 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 if you need anything done, any photos taken, you want a photo of your dog, your family, you want Christmas photos coming up, whatever, go to my website, marshalkramermedia.com. Book today. You can go to my Instagram, Marshal Kramer. You can DM me there. Let's go. Pictures, videos, whatever you need. If you want me to video your son playing basketball, let's do it. Your daughter playing basketball, let's do it. Whatever. Let's go. I will do it until I'm done doing it. When I eventually find my niche. Marshal Kramer Media, marshalkramermedia.com. Marshal Kramer on Instagram. You can find me there too. All right. This is a new little segment I wanted to do. If you don't know, I live in central Minnesota, and I want to go in the news. In the Minnesota news is going to be my my little title there. In the Minnesota news. And if you're not from Minnesota, you can sit back and appreciate, because, it's relevant to everyone around. And maybe if you're not, and you don't even care, maybe you should care. And I'm going to tell you why. Maybe learn a little bit about Minnesota. So, in the Minnesota news with Marshal Kramer. Set December 6th, this Saturday. Is it Saturday? Is it Saturday? I got to check and see. Nope, next Monday, December 6th, next Monday coming up here, will be the first ever Shake Shack Drive Thru opening up in Maple Grove. Right now in Maple Grove, I believe it's right off Elm Creek Boulevard. It's right by Portillo's. It's right by Potbelly. It's right in that little section there. And it's already been open on the inside and whatnot, but I didn't know that Shake Shack is just a pop-in, just like Five Guys, I guess. I've never seen a Five Guys drive-thru. But Minnesota, Maple Grove, literally 13 minutes away from my house, a place that I've never delivered from yet, but I deliver in Maple Grove every day for DoorDash. And it's going to be the first ever, and I think that is so freaking cool. And why I talk about that specifically is that it's going to tie into a later episode. I know you've maybe seen it before. I can't remember what episode it was, maybe back in the 60s. It was with Frankie, and we talked about the best burger. And time after time, burger aficionados will come back to, the casual sit-down restaurant, or whatever you want to call it, fast casual. The best in the country usually comes down to Five Guys and Shake Shack. I've never had Shake Shack. I didn't even know they had it in Minnesota until Maple Grove popped up and someone told me they already had a few locations down in Minneapolis. So that's super cool. But he said, a lot of people say it's Shake Shack. It's better than Five Guys. And Five Guys is great. Everybody's talked about, the only thing I fucking hate about Five Guys is its price. But that's what Shake Shack is too. So I'm very excited to try that out, and we're going to try it. I'm not going to do a whole video on it because it's been done. It's cliche. It's whatever. But since it's new to me, and I'm going to be able to try it from the first ever Shake Shack drive-thru, me and probably be joined with Brandon Abrahamson, we'll sit down and we'll take bite for bite Five Guys and Shake Shack, and we're going to try and see really what is the best burger, best fast casual burger. He wanted to throw in, we're from Minnesota here, and it's mainly in the Midwest, but there's another brand called Culver's, and they're known for their butter burgers, and they're delicious, absolutely delicious. I think as far west as they go, there's maybe one or two places in Nevada, maybe even Culver City, Nevada. That'd be funny. It's not where it started. It started in Wisconsin. Cheese, obviously. But yeah, maybe we might even throw that in there too, just to give Midwest a little showing in the running there. See where it compares to the two best fast casual burgers to ever exist. Also, in first ever in Minnesota news with Marshal Kramer, first ever Taco Bell Defy is to open up in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. The first ever new design for Taco Bell is going to open up in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Just 5 more minutes from my house, so less than 20 minutes away, the first ever Taco Bell Defy is gonna open up there. Now, I'm going to post a picture for you visual people, and you're able to see what this model, or maybe even seen it before, what this model is going to look like. But for you just listening, let me describe it to you a little bit. So think of going to a bank, and you're driving up, right? And you drive up, you got 3 lanes, right, with those tubes, and then maybe the far lanes, the ATM. Let's just imagine 4 lanes, no ATM, all tubes. And then, you're driving under the building because it's kind of like a pass-through type design. Now imagine it being that way, but instead of looking to your left where the bank tellers would be at your level, the Taco Bell employees are going to be above you. So you're going to talk to them, right by the tube with a little microphone like you always do, right? You're going to order your food, and then on a tray, they're going to have it drop down. And then you're going to grab your food and you're going to roll out, and then the tray will come right back up, repeat for the next person, And that's what it's going to be. It's all glass, everywhere glass, purple lights. It's so freaking cool. And the first one ever is going to be opening up in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. I think that is just so cool. Minnesota rep. First Shake Shack drive-thru, first of this type of drive-thru for Taco Bell, man. And I think I think the Taco Bell thing came from this idea of a lot less eating in because of COVID, right? COVID really changed. I don't know. There's many other locations, but every location of Dairy Queen that I've delivered from, they don't have their lobbies open. Maybe that's just what they said. They said close your lobbies, but otherwise, all the time it's happening. They're closing down the lobbies. Or some places they don't have drive-thru workers and they're closing down the drive-thru. You got to come inside. It also goes along with the labor shortage, but I bet you this idea was in the running for a while. It's not like they just pop up an idea like this and go, all right, let's start it. They probably had it in the works 5 years ago. Then all of a sudden COVID came. They go, we need a better system. And now it's going to be a 3 or 4 lane system that no one comes inside. And you just drive through. Caribou, if you're not from Minnesota or the Midwest, maybe you don't know Caribou, but it's a Starbucks-like coffee shop. Very similar design to the black and green-like color, but this will just have a caribou instead of whatever Starbucks has. They've done a thing too where they just have these tiny coffee shops. They have you can't come inside. There is no inside. It's inside just for the workers. These little cute shops. I mean, seriously, like imagine your typical home shed, your typical 10 by 12 shed, times it by 2. There's these teeny little shops that, just maybe have these perfect drive-throughs and people just go in and out. That's what they're trying to promote, is that contactless, non-sitting down type of way that they maybe predict is going to be the new way in the future. And honestly, sit-down restaurants, I love that, and hopefully that'll never change. That would be, if you had to eat Applebee's like they were doing Applebee's outside, go take Applebee's and go eat in your car, go eat it in an ice house outside with your own private party. Nah, none of that shit. But to be honest with you, I don't like eating fast food inside. I don't really like eating fast food, to be honest with you. Maybe not necessarily the taste or the health, but my stomach and the goddamn shits. All right, I can't even take it, man. It's just horrible. Speaking of Taco Bell, that's probably one of the worst for me. Whoa. But I don't like to really sit inside anyway, so maybe we've already been moving to that culture with the invention of the drive-thru to, get us in and out of here. We don't want to be here. And maybe they're just saying, hey, let's just move permanently to the drive-thru. We don't need people coming in here and sitting down and using our Wi-Fi and, homeless people charging and shit. I don't know. Maybe it works for them. Why Minnesota, though, for Taco Bell? Why Minnesota? Well, Border Foods, which is a Minnesota-based company, is the one who came up with this idea for the new Taco Bell drive-thru. So why not Minnesota? Minnesota's the first one, And we're also, Border Foods is actually one of the largest Taco Bell franchises in the country. They have more than 200 locations in the Midwest. So, it's always funny. As much as you think a business is small, or as much as you think a business is simple, it always goes so much deeper. I mean, we'll just look at T-Bell. T-Bell, Pizza Hut, and KFC are all owned. You think they're big enough on their self. They're all 3 big franchises. Well, they're all owned by the Yum brand. So you go, well, who the fuck is Yum? And Yum is this massive, conglomerate corporation that has a lot of rich people who own it, and they basically own those restaurants. And even here, right, you always know not each Taco Bell is owned by the I mean, that's how they make their money, is franchising off. But, you know, you'd think around here, each Taco Bell you go to is owned by this guy. And then maybe this guy owns the 5 in this area. And then this family owns the next 5. And then maybe these 2 or 3 families came together and they own these 10 over here. No, looks like, you know, Border Foods, which is probably I don't know, Minnesota-based company. I don't know what Border Foods is. I'm not even going to look it up because I don't really care. But they're the ones who own 200 locations here in the Midwest. So it's always much deeper and bigger than you probably think it is. But, you know, that's what's up in the Minnesota news. When I do these monologues, I'm going to try and keep them to 30 minutes. You know, just kind of get in and get out, kind of talk a little bit, maybe make you think, maybe have you enjoy a little bit. Again, I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about. There's not going to be a single topic. The title may be a little misleading because the title this time may be, you know, the first ever Shake Shack Drive Thru, and then you see we talked about it for 3 minutes out of the whole 30 minutes. But something's got to be picked for the title. But if it ever becomes a dialogue, which I plan to have many dialogues with me, 1, 2, 3 other people, then it's going to be hopefully an hour. I'll try and keep it around an hour because that's where people's attention spans kind of run out. But the most successful podcast in the world, hands down, is the Joe Rogan Experience, and he does 3 hours plus. So I'm going to let those conversations run as long as they do. If they run an hour and a half, I'm posting an hour and a half. If they run 45 minutes, I'm posting 45 minutes. If they run 3 hours, we're posting the whole 3. None of this split up. Oh, I'm just going to make it easy on myself and do 2 separate episodes. Now I can have a week to chill. No. Not going to do that. And the last thing I want to talk about here with this episode, you know, being a health guy, and I've really gotten back into it, and I just want to, hey, maybe give it a chance. So, ending the year always gets busy. Winter's coming. Whether you have snow or not, the days are shorter. It just, holidays come. Holidays already been, right? Thanksgiving's done. Christmas is coming. It's, quote-unquote, the most stressful time of the year. And January's coming up, so people like to get into fitness and health anyway, right? This is when they start to think about that stuff. So maybe think about yoga, okay? And if you don't like the idea of yoga, you think it's too hippy-jippy, too much meditation, too whatever, right? Try stretching. So literally, right, let's think about, it's not spirituality. This is a legit scientific fact. We keep, for those who aren't watching, pointing to my traps and then my shoulders and my upper chest here and kind of my right behind my neck. That is where we keep our stress. It's where humans put their stress, and that is definitive and not subjective. It's objective. It's where we keep our stress. That's why you won't even feel it because your stress level rises usually so slowly that you won't even realize you're getting more and more and more hunched and more tense and stressed. That's where you literally keep that. Did you ever imagine that? And then think about it. You put your stress there to put it somewhere, and then literally it makes you more stressed because it becomes tighter and tighter and tighter, hotter and hotter and hotter, more achy and achier. So literally just relaxing, stretching it out, and stretching out your neck will literally relieve pain and tension, which can therefore relieve stress. I'm not talking about no brain thing that, you know, we literally in our brain when adrenaline and cortisol spike, which are the stress hormones, we just shoot it down and lock it into our traps, and there it is. And you gotta watch this, and then you gotta release it out, and then stretch it out and push it out into the universe. Ain't talking about no shit like that. We're talking about when we stress up, we tense up. Some people clench their fists, right? We clench, we come together, we contract our muscles. Now, if you don't relax your muscles, it will start to cause pain, physical tension, or at least limitations which cause pain. And then what you can do is stretch, relax, and breathe, and you'll literally relieve physical pain, which we hope will relieve at least some load of your stress, right? We hope to calm you down a little bit. I know usually around this time of the year I get into lifting a little bit more, and which I have. And one pain I always have, probably because my stupid younger self didn't know form or cared about it. I have lower back pain right on this left side. 3 things I do not well for it. I lift heavy pretty often, right? Like lift heavy weights. It's fun to me. It's the only part I even enjoy anymore. And then I sit to edit or podcast like I'm doing now. And then my other job. If it wasn't DoorDash for the past year and a half, it was inspecting homes, driving all around to find homes, and then I did delivery for Panera too. So basically in the last 3 years, my main source of income was driving. I'm sitting in a car all day, you know, and I'm just condensed. So stretching it out, I can feel my back, right? And I can feel it less today than I did yesterday, because I did yoga today. Just literally just stretching it out and breathing, and, you know, there's so much into the power of the breath that I've known about and I've heard of cognitively, right? I've listened to teachers talk about it. I've listened to other people talk about it, MMA fighters and whatnot, people in the army and the military. They learn about the power of the breath. But yoga will really, really teach you how to use it. And now, I do it sometimes, and I'm shaking my head because they'll be like, yeah, now you gotta breathe out all the bad energy. Smell all that good air. And like, no, I smell ball swass. I smell my ass. That's what I'm sucking in. I'm sucking in ass fumes. But they're like, breathe in that good air and push out all that bad energy. And it's like, a little bit too much for me, and maybe a little too much acid for you. But try it out. Please DM me. Say, if you listen to this fucking show and you're not my goddamn friend, you know, you're one of the few who listen to this show, DM me. Say, hey, man, fuck your yoga shit, but excited about T-Bell. Or say, hey, man, try the yoga shit. Literally does work. Or you don't have to do yoga. Put on your favorite show. Put on your favorite movie. Move the coffee tables and end tables. Lay down in your living room and stretch along to that show. Remember to breathe. Stretching is not easy. It should be painful. Don't hurt yourself, but it should be tight. It should sting a little bit. That means you're pushing yourself in that sense. And that's another thing you can add to, because I don't know if you about y'all, but even though it's not my hobby no more, I do best by consistency and doing something every day. So that means reading every day. That means, you know, cleaning every day. And that means exercising every day. I don't know about y'all, but the way I lift, I can't lift 7 days a week, but I can lift 5 days a week and do yoga twice a week. So it's a way for you, maybe you can use in your New Year's resolutions, or any time you want to start a new habit, you know, maybe throw in some stretching and maybe even some walking, whatever, to help loosen up your muscles and just de-stress this upper area where we tend to keep it all. That's really it for me today. The Marshal Kramer Show. I am Marshall. I'll be back soon. I don't know when, but yoga, Taco Bell, Shake Shack, things we talked about this time. Until next time, take care, my friends. Scoot, boot, toodaloo.
Every single time we cry wolf today, couldn't help it. We were selfish, trying to find the time to be selfless.